Keeping schools open amid the ongoing COVID pandemic, battling learning loss from remote learning, and the future of the Gifted and Talented program are just a few of the major projects the next schools chancellor is going to face.
It's a big job at any point, but especially right now, and we know who that will be. Mayor-elect Eric Adams announced come January his school chancellor will be David Banks, founder of the Eagle Academy.
David is a visionary, leader, innovator, who has spent his career fighting on behalf of students. Like me, he grew up in Brooklyn.
David Banks in the house, born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, and moving back to Harlem as we speak. Congratulations.
Right. Oh, thank you so much. I'm really excited. I'm humbled by this opportunity to lead the nation's largest school system. I'm humbled that Mayor-elect Eric Adams had the confidence in me to do this job, and I'm ready.
So yesterday you talked about dramatic change and turning over tables.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
You know, I think when you speak to parents, when you speak to teachers, when you speak to principals, they will tell you that the Department of Education, it's so large and it's such a huge bureaucracy that it doesn't often give them the level of support that they really need. And the best principals say, just get out of my way and let us do our work. I intend to be a leader who will allow our schools to do what they know best, to provide the support, and to make sure that the Department of Education is an ecosystem of support for those schools. Because what the magic of schools happens between teachers and students every day.
And you have had this unique opportunity to sort of shake things up in a certain way by creating a public academy, the Eagle Academy, within the school district, which is unique in itself. A lot of people might hear that and think it's a charter school, but it isn't. It's unionized schools that are there, and that has made a big difference.
And you know what? That's so interesting that you bring that up, Dan, because before the Eagle Academy, I was the founding principal of the Bronx School for Law, Government, and Justice, where I served as its leader for 7 years. And in fact, during that time, Misha Porter, our current school's chancellor, worked with me in the development of that school, and it was an amazing place. And from there, I went to lead the Eagle Academy and then create an Eagle Academy in every borough in New York City, as well as one in Newark, New Jersey. They are traditional public schools. They're not charter schools. All of the teachers are unionized, and it's an amazing place. And we wanted to show that you could move the needle in traditional public schools.
So I'm curious about the Gifted and Talented program. Obviously, a lot of talk about scrapping it, standardized tests, scrapping it. What's your agenda? What do you plan to do with those two things?
Listen, we're still continuing to work all of those things out, but I will tell you that our basic framework is to do more, not less.
So is your gut to keep it?
Yes, our gut is absolutely to keep and to maintain gifted and talented classes, but not to keep it in such a limited scope as we are currently experiencing.
So how would you expand it?
We're going to provide the level of investment that is needed to put gifted and talented in school districts across the city. Right now, the problem, the reason why you see it in the news, is because it's only reserved for a limited number of slots. And that's the reason why parents are going crazy to try to get their kids into places where they see a real opportunity. We're going to expand it exponentially so that it's not just a limited view. We're going to create more and more opportunities for parents to have this opportunity.
You know, when you sat down, we listed a long list of things that are sort of on the agenda, and one thing a lot of parents are thinking about, the possibility of a vaccine mandate for school children. The mayor has said, mayor-elect has said he's open to the idea. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, listen, I'm always going to be in alignment with the mayor. We're going to pay the mayor-elect. We're going to pay very close attention with the public health officials. You know, the guidance that they offer us, and so there's still more to come.
Do you have a gut feeling about it, about sort of where things are now and what?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was a school teacher. I was a product of the New York City public schools. My gut is to always provide a level of safety for all of our children, number one. And number two, I know that the best thing for kids is to be in school with their teachers, with their classmates. It's part of how young people grow and develop. And when they're outside of that routine, a lot of negative things can happen, and we've been seeing the byproduct of that recently. So we have to find the right balance between safety and also ensuring that our kids actually have a great school experience.
How do you feel about charter schools? Will you support them?
I think Mayor-elect Adams indicated yesterday during his remarks at my announcement, which, by the way, took place at PS 161 in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, where I grew up. I went to that school from kindergarten through the 5th grade. It was a great school experience. We want all of our children to have great school experiences. The charter schools many of the charter schools provide a great school experience. And Mayor-elect Adams said, wherever we see excellence, we want to scale it. And I think that will be the mantra that we lead with. And that's what we're going to be committed to.
I think that's great.
That's an interesting position for you to sort of have, because you're in charge, or will be in charge, of the traditional public school setting in the city, and that is a unique balance that you'll have to take.
It is a unique balance, but again, be mindful of what I just said. We want to scale excellence. That doesn't necessarily mean creating more charter schools. That doesn't necessarily mean creating more schools. We have a lot of schools which have created phenomenal opportunities. We want to learn from them. And so I want charter schools and some great traditional public schools to demonstrate scalability by showing other schools what you have learned. That's why charter schools were created in the first place.
I know, but you know, over the last few years, and yesterday you and the mayor-elect talked about it, 60% of black and brown students graduate every year and don't meet the state proficiency in math and English and
that's right.
everything else.
Right.
And this is year after year.
Right.
Graduating kids who can't read or write
Absolutely.
at their level.
And that's going to change, Rosanna. And I understand, and that's why people have been so supportive of charter schools. But there are also lots of great traditional public schools that have been doing an amazing job. They don't get talked about a lot. We're going to look to scale those up as well. Listen, when I was at the Eagle Academy, we were doing some great work, but what we started to do in our later years was to train other schools in best practices for engaging young men in their classrooms. And that's my point. There are a lot of schools that have figured some things out, and we want to make sure that everybody else learns from those best practices.
You know, you sort of have talked about this, but integrating schools in a certain way, everyone has talked about how the city has some of the most segregated schools in the country. And you've said that that is important, but that in the Eagle Academy, for example, that sometimes black parents will embrace the idea of having that community-based sort of learning environment. And that's something that I would imagine is on the back of your mind as you're sort of moving ahead with this.
You know, as I moved from Brooklyn to Queens as a little boy, I went to integrated schools. But the reason for that was because the schools that were in our neighborhoods were not solid schools. When I went to middle school and even for high school, my mom and dad said, I can't send you to the neighborhood school. Why? Because it wasn't a quality school. And so people are looking for quality schools above everything else. And we certainly think that an integrated experience, that broadens your world perspective. And that's a great thing for all kids. And so we're certainly going to be looking at ways to continue to do that.
What about expanding the school year?
Listen, Mayor-elect Adams has talked about that. I know a lot of kids may not want to hear it, and families, but I will tell you, what the mayor-elect has been saying is we've got to think out of the box. We've got to be much more expansive. If we continue to do things the way we've been doing them, we're going to continue to get the same results. I want young people, and I want the parents who are listening to me today to know that the difference of what they're going to see in this administration, our North Star, is we're going to create real career pathways for economic upward mobility. I want young people to understand why they go to school in the first place, so that they can graduate with an employable skill set and ready to take their place in this American society.
All right, so we're not going to call it summer school anymore, right? Summer school had that, you know, connotation of like, oh, you didn't do well, you got to... Maybe you need to come up with a better term, and should parents right now not make not make plans for the summer?
Well, stay tuned. You know, we're just saying that we are committed to making sure that we catch our kids back up. You know, COVID, you know, had a tremendously negative impact on so many of our young people, and we've got a long way to go to get them where they need to be.
They're telling us to wrap up, but I wanted to ask you just briefly, at your academy, the kids say a poem at the beginning of school every day. One of the last lines is from William Ernest Henley: I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul.
It's the poem Invictus. Invictus is the poem of resilience. It's the poem that Nelson Mandela recited every day while he was locked up for 27 years on Robben Island in South Africa. He said it's what kept him sane. And that's the message that we send not only to young men at Eagle, but all students across New York City, that even when the going gets tough and the challenges of COVID and others that are to come, you have to have something in your spirit that tells you stay strong, continue to press on. We're New Yorkers. We will soar above it.
We're so excited to, meet you again and talk about this. And, you know, we're here to support because we want to see everybody have the same opportunities.
Thank you, Rosanna.
So that would be great. And you also know the words for native New Yorkers, so maybe next time.
That's right.
You grew up Riding
the subways, absolutely. Running with people.
Oh, there we go.
Up in Harlem, down on Broadway.
Yes.
Come on, I'm going to bring some of my students back with me next time. They'll really sing well.
David Banks, all the best to you. Congratulations.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.